Have you ever seen this logo on older comics or not familiar with it in general? Well, let's talk about it. That is the Comics Code Authority, and it allowed comic book publishers to self regulate their content in the United States of America. Though it was just voluntary and wasn't required by law, it did hold a lot of weight in the eye of the public. And as we see here, the first group to object to comics was educators who saw comics as a bad influence on students' reading abilities and literary tastes. They filled professional journals with suggestions on how to wean their pupils from superhero tales. Then there will be a turning point. The United States Department of Health, Education, and Welfare would ask Stan Lee to make a comic showing the use of drugs in a negative light. The CCA actually turned this down, but Stan Lee went on and produced the comic anyway, and then the CCA would update their rules. And in one of the crazier stories with the CCA, writer Marv Wolfman actually was in violation of one of their rules pertaining to the supernatural because, of the last name Wolfman, but that will end up being changed. Another revision would happen on January 28th, 1971, to allow for, among other things, the sometimes sympathetic depiction of criminal behavior and corruption among public officials, as long as it is portrayed as exceptional and the culprit is punished. And also, this allowed for supernatural characters like Frankenstein and Dracula to be featured. When the 80s and 90s came along, comic book publishers just began to disregard the CCA in general, especially DC when they were producing Swamp Thing and Watchmen comics. Marvel will completely abandon the CCA in 2001. These will be the last comic publishers to use the CCA. Bongo Comics will drop them in 2010, Archie Comics in DC in 2011, then the CCA will be defunct.